Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kassiah and this is SiahSwag. Today I have just an easy video for you. I always get the question on, can you please show me how you quilt your bag pieces? I've posted a couple videos of it before, but I thought I would post a new one for those who have missed those because I'm getting ready to quilt a bag for a tutorial and just kind of wanted to talk about a couple of different aspects of that. On my Patreon, we are doing a sew-along for the Jerry sneakers by Creations. And so Tara over there is walking us through the whole thing. It's super fun. So yesterday we got on Patreon and quilted our panel for those shoes. And the design on my panel, I was like, okay, I need to do this on some bags now. So this is the design that I quilted. These are going to be my sneakers. These are going to be my high tops. How cool is that? And I thought I want to do that same design on a bag. And so I'm making a SiahSwag for a swap that we're doing on Patreon as well, a bag swap. And so yesterday I went ahead and quilted these panels for the SiahSwag. I am so excited about this one. I think it's going to turn out so cute. So I want to talk to you about how we do that, and then I'm going to show you because I have another bag all ready to go to be quilted over here. I'll show you how I mark it, how I put the stuff on, and how I sew it. The question I always get is, do you have to cut your pieces bigger before you quilt them? That is dependent on the design you're doing and your material. If you have really flexible material, like it has a stretch to it, it'll probably shrink a little bit when you're quilting it. My experience has been, I usually quilt the faux real from Tulip Bee. It's like a fake leather. And I did a test yesterday. I drew out my pattern piece on it, but I cut my piece bigger and then I quilted it. And then I laid my pattern piece back on it to see if it shrunk at all. It did not. So for me, I don't feel like I have to cut these pieces bigger than the pattern. But if you're worried about that and you think your pieces are going to shrink, always cut it bigger before you quilt it. That is personal preference. It's experience. It's the materials, all that kind of jazz. My favorite combo for a bag to quilt is I like to put foam behind it. My favorite foam is this Basel inner foam. Non-fusible, you can get fusible. This particular one is non-fusible. It's a little thinner than your typical foam, I think. It quilts up beautifully with vinyl. So I do a layer of foam. I quilt that. And then if I wanted to keep that foam out of my seam allowances, I also like to put a layer of woven interfacing, sandwiching that foam. This is something I did on the Annabelle, and now I use it on so many bags. It makes such a good bag panel when you're done. That is my go-to. Foam out of your seam allowances, quilt it, and then some kind of woven interfacing over the top. It's kind of perfection. For my gusset, though, I don't do the woven. I just do Decaville light over that foam after I've quilted it. And it makes a really good gusset as well. Other aspects I wanted to talk about, marking your panels. I'm going to go through and we're going to mark one of the panels that I'm going to get ready to quilt. I'll show you how I do that. I'm going to do a design similar to this. This one right here is 1.5 inch lines apart. I did 1.5 inches at a 60-degree angle. I always start with an angle. I try to start at the same point and then go from there. This panel here is 1 inch square. So this is smaller and this is 1 inch lines. And then the double line is quilted after that, an 1/8 inch away from that main line on the right side. So you just have to be consistent with how you do it, make it all the same. Okay, so we are going to dig into this bag that I'm going to be quilting. I will show you my whole process on how I get it set and ready to go, and then we'll take it to the machine. Okay, so here is my panel for the bag I'm going to quilt. It is just the faux real vinyl from Tulip Bee. Nothing is on it yet. I have my foam cut out, and I will be putting that on after I mark it. Do you see how it's out of my seam allowances? I will be spraying it on with this temporary adhesive 505 to keep it in place. I love this stuff. It's fabulous for quilting. Doesn't gum up my needle that I have noticed. All right, so I have my center top and bottom markings. That's important because that's going to be my starting point for my first line. And I want to be sure that wherever I start on this panel, I do the same on the backside panel because I kind of want them to flow together. I want them to match. You need a good ruler that you like. This one, 18 by 3, is my favorite for marking quilting lines. It's fabulous. It's got a little bit of marking pin on it. Let me just clean that off. Also a wipe for when you make mistakes with your silver marking pen. And a silver marking pen. I don't have a case for it. It's just hanging out by itself. It's just a refill. You can get these on Amazon. They are silver marking pens for leather and vinyl, and they are fabulous. The only thing is you have to be sure and clean them off pretty quickly. I'll mark it, and then I'll go quilt it, and I'll wipe it off right away. Don't let it sit. If you mark it and then go away and do something for a few hours, that might not come out when you come back. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the same pattern that I did on that shar. And so that was a 60-degree angle. Okay, so you have all these markings. You got 30, 45, and 60. So I'm going to start with it on the bottom, and my ruler centered right there on that center mark, 60-degree angle. And that's going to be my first line. And I'm going to mark, since my squares or my lines are going to be 1.5 inches apart, I'm going to mark a line on each side. And then I'm going to move this to that 1.5 inch line right there. And now I'm going to do another line here and another line here. And then we're just going to keep going up like that. I'll move it all the way to the end here. And then I go up to the 1.5. And then my last one right here. Beautiful. Okay, so I have all my lines going that way first. And now I'm going to, again, line it up. I'm going to do it at the center mark on that 60-degree angle right here, down at the bottom, center mark, and go from there. And now go the other way. Okay, easy. Easy peasy. Okay, that is my first panel. All marked and ready to go. So the only other thing I need to do is add my foam on the back. Okay, so I'm going to take this out of the camera way, and I'm going to just give this a nice good spray on the back, and then we'll put it on our piece. You could also just use some double-sided tape to tack this in place, however you wanted to do it. Beautiful. Okay. So that'll stay put while I go quilt it. Okay, so I'm going to take this to my machine and I'm going to quilt this main pattern first. And then I will do my double line of stitching after I've quilted it all once. So I'll do all the single lines and then I'll come back and I will quilt the second line to the right, an 1/8 inch away to each of these lines. And it'll get that double lined look that we like. And then after that, you could sandwich some woven on top of that. I'm not sure if I'm going to because for this bag in particular, we need to keep our seams light. So I may just keep the foam on there and call it a day. I'm not sure yet. To be determined. All right, so let's go to our machine and start quilting this. Okay, here I am at my machine. I've got my panel. One thing that I do, I learned this when I did like big quilts, is that you always want to start from the middle and go out. If you tend to go from one side all the way down, your foam might shift a little bit. I haven't found that to be the case, but just to be extra safe, I always start in the middle and I go from here out and then I go down that way, and then the same with the other way of the line. So we're just going to take this and start quilting and enjoy. Okay, so there is my first go around with all my stitching. Ugh, looks so good. So what I'm going to do next is I need to make sure that I do it all the same way. I'm going to go to the right of each line And I'm just going to use my foot as a guide. The inside, the middle foot, the edge of the middle foot is going to be my guide. So it will be an 1/8 inch away from the first line. And I'm going to do that double row of stitching next. And I'll do all of that, and then we'll be done with the panel. Okay, that is my piece all quilted. Isn't that pretty? I'll go ahead and get a wipe and make sure I get all the silver marking pin. It kind of blends in, so it's not horrible on this one, but I will wipe all of the silver marking pin off, and then I will go do the other pieces of the bag the same exact way. For this one, I think I'm just going to leave it like this. I will probably put Decaville Light in the gusset, but leave the main panels kind of lighter because of the pattern and what it calls for. So I hope this was helpful, you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions, any comments. I will try to answer them all. And thank you for watching.